Why are they not together before episode 8? God, guys, they're so cute. When they're cute, they're so cute.
I believe.
Just kiss like once. Just kiss, just like, look, just like a little bit, like a lick, like a. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is I, Miata Lebele, and I am here to react to episode 3 of season 2 of Bridgerton. If y'all can't tell, I've already taken my 2 shots. Now here's the thing. I had recorded my intro already, and I watched it. I was like, I don't like that. But unfortunately, I'd already taken my 2 shots. So like, I'm trying to intro myself, but I'm a little messy. So let me try to remember what I need to tell you. Like and subscribe. I think that's a thing. Was there anything else? No, I think that's it. I don't remember anything that happens in episode 3 of this season. I have already watched the show. I watched the show 2 weeks ago, like all of us. I really do not remember anything that happens in episode 3 at all. So we'll see. This will be a fun little rewatcheroo. And it's been a little hard reviewing the show, as y'all know. Like, this season wasn't my favorite season, and then I have like half of y'all really want me to be meaner to the show, and then half of y'all want me to be nicer to the show. Everybody wants something from me, but you know who doesn't want anything else from me? My liver, because I'm drinking too much. Someone help me, please. Also, did y'all see that meme this week of the girl at the dentist where she was trying to do the heart and the dentist slapped her hand down?
Send me, darling, you.
Doesn't that remind y'all of Colin and Penelope? That's all I can think about. It's just like Penelope wanting Colin so bad in her horny little heart, and Colin being like, nah, sway, I don't feel that way about you. I'm not even sure I've looked into the camera lens this entire time because I am feeling it already. All right. So we do want to thank, again, we want to thank I Always Shine, who's one of my subscribers. Thank you, honey. Again, I was able to get a whole ass tequila that has a brand name on it. Thank you. No more Costco alcohol for me this week. I'm gonna go back to it, but not this week because I got some nice little tequila. So thank you, honey, so much. If you guys would like to contribute to Miata's alcohol fund, my liver does not want you to. However, the rest of me does. So I will drop my Cash App below. And if you guys are like, Miata, here's an amazing wine you should try, let me know with a little Cash Appy app. Okay, friends. All right, we're gonna watch episode 3, right? I have to stop drinking.
They're quite lovely, are they not?
Daphne will be jealous if we return with nothing for her.
Someone!
This was a really hard moment to watch for multiple reasons. One, it's an incredibly awful moment for Anthony, yes, but especially for Violet. And she, the actress, is doing such, her heartbreak at this moment is heart-wrenching. But the second reason why it's hard, I think, for some of the book readers is because in the books, for those of you that do not know, Eloise is the one who's with her father when her father is bit by the bee and when he passes away. So when he is stung by the bee, Eloise is the one who's with him, and she's the one who watches her father die. Now, I think sometimes, when I first watched this, I was a little upset because I was like, they took this moment away from Eloise, which is not really fair. Anthony already has a lot of his backstory built out in the books, and it just kind of felt like they took away this moment, which could have been a very powerful moment, I think, in Eloise's backstory, particularly in the show. So in the show, we're seeing an Eloise who's quite feminist, and she doesn't want to get married and have any of these relationships, and she doesn't want to do this and this and this. But what if some of that stemmed from watching her dad die, watching her mother go through incredible grief, and her deciding she didn't want to go through a life like that, where she'd have to depend on a man and then watch him die and then have to raise 8 kids by herself? They could have added that backstory to Eloise. Now, I understand why they decided not to for the show. First off, who knows if they're going to get to Eloise's season, right? Netflix be canceling shows like left and right. Number 2, Anthony, out of all of the children, has the most PTSD and grief and trauma from the loss of his father. His book is chock full of that. Whereas Eloise's book, interestingly enough, even though she ends up marrying a widow, she doesn't really have all of these moments of grief over her father the way that Anthony does. So I understand why they decided to make this change and have this be in Anthony's backstory rather than Eloise.
Edmund, do not leave.
And for you guys to know, Edmund and Violet were a love match. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up because I've had 3 shots. Edmund and Violet were a love match. They got married when she was 18 and he was 20. And they have been together for 18 years at this point. I'm not sure in the show how old Anthony's supposed to be, but I believe when his father passes away, he's about 18, 19 years old. So they've been together for like 18, 19 years. And he's the only man she's ever loved, and she's the only woman he's ever loved. And it's just like really tragic for Violet. I think this episode in particular is they really show Violet's pain, something that does not happen in the books nearly as much. And I think it's really fantastic that we get to see more from how Violet feels about everything, you know, like when and we'll get to it, right? When she's in the birthing room and she's like, the only thing that, you know, like your father never would have asked. Your father should be here. I love those moments. Okay, we're gonna get to it. But, just like the love of her life just passing away, it's just really hard, right? For those of you guys that do not know, in the books, Violet never loves again. She never wants to marry again. Like, this is the love of her life. And Anthony, book Anthony as well, he never gets a moment to be anything other than like, he is immediately the head of his family. And God, I mean, for those people who have lost someone, you know what that's like. That moment where like you're not even allowed to really grieve because you have to handle all of the details of the death of someone. And you have to just keep going for everyone else. It is so hard. And so I hope, Jonathan Bailey did such an excellent job as Anthony because like you feel for him and you should, right? Because like, he never got a moment to just sit in his grief. This, however, is why I am a little upset with the season for not really delving into that grief, delving into that PTSD the way the book did. The book did it better in that way. Because Kate has, like I've said so many times before, Kate has her own PTSD dealing with her mother, which the season never goes into. Anthony has all this PTSD dealing with his father, which the season does go into, and they connect, not just on the level of responsibility, which I've seen so many people talk about, but they connect on a level of losing a parent and having to be strong for everyone else, but not being able to ever let go for yourself, and the only people they can let go for is each other. That's why Kate and Anthony work. The reason why this season is not quite as strong as the book to me is because you guys see Kate and Anthony lusting after each other quite a bit. And you do see them occasionally talking about the responsibility for their family, but there's a deeper level that these two meet at in the books that you don't quite get in the TV show. And that breaks my heart because all of this grief that you're seeing with Anthony and his mother is also all of the grief that Kate has with herself, and where the two meet in the middle, sharing that together. And that is when Anthony is really like, oh, this is the woman for me. Like, I wish you guys got to see that in the show, and you don't quite. I know so many people are still happy with the season, and I'm glad you're happy with the season, but I just go back, read the books, imagine Jonathan Bailey and Simone Ashley in the roles. I think you're going to be so pleased by reading the story and imagining those two in the books, but deeper level to Kate and Anthony that you're simply not able to get in the TV show because they have so many other storylines that they're interested in going after.
Free air indeed clears the mind and invigorates the body.
We do deserve more Newton, guys. This dog actor didn't get enough work, okay? We needed more dog acting. I just really wish she had boned him before she sent him off. That would have been pretty sexy. I'm not gonna lie. I think Polly Walker's so hot. Portia is so hot. I would love a sex scene with Portia and literally anyone. I honestly don't care. If Portia wants to have a sex scene with Violet Bridgerton, I'd be 110% down. Please just show me some Portia.
Sister! Oh, I am so pleased you...
I love every time Daphne comes in like a single mother. Like baby daddy gone. She is by herself now on the streets. All right. Okay, Simon left her. Okay, just coming in here with the baby and nobody else. I love it.
You must all help me win over both sisters.
Ooh, Colin! Colin shaved. Let's give it up. I can look at his face without vomiting. Thank you, boo. What I do like about this moment is Kate in the books is deeply impressed by Aubrey Hall. She loves it from the first sight. So getting to have Simone Ashley have this moment where she gets out of the carriage and she looks up at it and she sees how beautiful it is. That's very much Kate in the book. She hates how beautiful it is because she hates Anthony. But she is so impressed by Aubrey, and she even thinks as she's walking around all of the place. Kate really loves the countryside, so for her this feels beautiful and wonderful, like a place that she can call home already. So I love that we get to see Simone enjoying Aubrey Hall, and we also get to see Anthony see her be impressed by Aubrey Hall and him be like, oh, she likes my home. Hey.
Miss Edwina.
No.
Exactly, Anthony. You're over here flirting with Kate when you should be looking at Edwina. Baby, why did this season even waste time? They should be boning every night. Why are we wasting time with the Edwina subplots? Baby, let them bone. Let them bone.
This house carries many memories.
That is important to remember. So the reason the Bridgertons basically live in London, so a lot of other families go to London during the season and then come to the country when it's not the season. I explained this before in another video. The season basically is when Parliament is open. It's kind of like January, February through like early summer. It's when Parliament is open. So all of the men who were lords in Parliament would go to the city, they bring their wives along, and there was a lot of parties and balls that would happen in London during the season. Then when Parliament was closed, everyone would go to their country homes. The reason why the Bridgertons basically lived in London year-round, which would have been considered quite odd for this type of family, the reason they lived in London full-time is because Violet didn't want to go to Aubrey Hall because it reminds her of where her husband died. Her husband died at Aubrey Hall. So she keeps her family, by and large, in London. They come to Aubrey Hall occasionally, but they live in London because she does not want to be reminded of the memories of her husband.
Right. Oh, now Benedict is a song.
I read somewhere that the only thing Julia Quinn stipulated, I think, for this season is she really wanted the Pall Mall scene to happen. Like, the Pall Mall scene happens in the books, and she really wanted them to keep this in for the season. They could change whatever else, but keep this in. Somehow, I don't find this scene, with the exception of when Kate and Anthony are together, I don't find this scene very charming. I feel like somehow they sucked all of the fun and charm out of it, and I don't know where they went wrong, but I wish it had just been them bickering all the time. I wish we would have seen more of the game happening. I wish we could have seen something that does happen in the books is the other siblings keep looking at Kate and Anthony and being like, we need to get these two alone, because everyone realizes Kate and Anthony need to be together. So I don't know, it just somehow, some of the spark that I found in the Pall Mall scene in the books didn't quite translate well to the Pall Mall scene in the show. Possibly because they're spending time with Daphne explaining everything when we could just be watching them be. I think what was so fun about the scene in the books is just because, like, we just got to see them be terrible sports. They're all when they're playing Pall Mall, they have no manners. They're screaming at each other. They scream at the sisters. The sisters are taken aback because they just met these people. I just wish they had let the game speak for itself versus having anyone talk around it. I think that's why it lost some of its charm. It's all the talking versus the doing. I do hate that. Sorry, I was on my phone. But I do hate that this Mallet scene is happening in front of the parents. What I loved about the Mallet scene, particularly in the books, is because it happens with some of the siblings away. It's not in front of the, Lady Danbury and in front of Lady Bridgerton and Lady Sharma. It's just the kids. So they're able to act badly, very badly, have poor manners the entire time without an audience. I don't know why they thought the scene should take place on this lawn in front. I don't actually quite know why they made this change. I actually think it's one of the less good changes they made for the Pall Mall scene, because I like when the kids were able to just be off by themselves and cuss and be like mean to each other, because I don't quite know why they thought it should be set up like this, honestly, because you end up having Kate and Anthony go off into the woods, as we'll see in a few minutes. So I don't know why the kids could have gone off and explored the grounds a little bit more, this is a change that I don't really like. I don't really love. It took, again, like I said, it takes some of the charm out of the scene. Like, honestly, the music is doing so much of the work to make this seem exciting. This is not exciting. Like, the music is like, woo! But it's like...
Lady Mary, they are a credit to you. They are my greatest blessing indeed.
Oh, a bitch gets to talk today. Wonderful. Okay, they had it in the budget for Mary Sharma to speak this episode. Excellent. That CGI is wild. Baby, that's some CGI. All right, that shit didn't fly like that. And also, she ends up hitting it. When you see where she hits the ball, she hits it like 50 miles away. Like, baby, nah, that shit didn't happen.
I think I shall cut out.
I will say, when I was watching this for the first time, I was so confused about what Edwina was going through. I feel like later on she mentions that she was feeling embarrassed that she was so bad at the game. That didn't come through at all. It just felt like she was uncomfortable. I thought when I was watching it for the first time, oh, maybe she sees her sister and Anthony having a connection. It's kind of why I started getting excited, because I was like, oh, she notices her sister and Anthony having a connection. She's gonna bow out. That's not what happened at all. Truly, the shock on his face with her walking in the mud was the shock on my face. Bitch, y'all are poor. How are you gonna get mud out of your silk? Is Lady Danbury footing the bill for this? Bitch, y'all are poor. As a poor person, when I get grease on my clothes, I freak the fuck out. I do not understand how in 1815, 1816, they're going to get mud out of silk. Bitch, no. That would have been sexy if she had to take this off. If she had to take the dress off and she's like, I have to get in, she's just in her shift and her corset to get the ball out of the mud. And then Anthony's like, ooh, baby. Sorry guys, it's late. I've had 3 shots of tequila. I think that would have been sexy as hell. Okay, I'm just saying. But truly, how do you get mud out of silk? That has to be the deepest mud I've ever seen in my life. Why are they in quicksand? No, truly, how is she in quicksand right now? This is mud. Oh. If I am her lady's maid, I'm quitting today. The second I see that she has mud on her butt, fuck this, I'm out. I cannot get mud out of purple silk, bitch. Why are they not together before episode 8? God, guys, they're so cute. When they're cute, they're so cute. They're so cute. Why do we have to wait? Like literally 5 more episodes. I can't. And by that I mean I'm going to, but I can't. Look how cute they are. Fuck this. Okay, let's keep watching.
I believe.
Just kiss like once. Just kiss. Just like, look, just like a little bit, like a lick, like a.
I'm the same for Edwina in every way that matters.
I could have used 30 more scenes just like this, where they are alone, they are talking to each other, they are just having these heart-to-heart moments about their sisters or about their family or about their past, and them flirting and them laughing. I just wanted more of this. This scene is what I am upset that we're missing for the season.
Your turn, my lord.
Look at the way he's looking at her. He obviously knows Kate is the one he should be with. Why the fuck didn't we get them together by episode 4 or 5? God, fuck the slow burn. Slow burn works till episode 5. Then get your people together, please. This scene is not at all in the books. I'm very glad they included it. I think it is something that we should see. It's not necessarily for Anthony, but for Violet.
Prefer.
Fucking bullshit. And for Violet to know that they are telling her son who she gave birth to make a choice about her life. Some fucked up bullshit.
It's obvious.
It's just like my heart fucking breaks for Violet so much. To be treated like your life doesn't even matter and you just lost your husband, and there's Anthony, he doesn't know what to do, and his mother is partially against him in this scene because he's being treated a certain way and she's not. God, this is such a heartbreaking scene. I love that they included this in the show. I'm glad that we got to see this.
Do what she wants.
Your lordship.
Whatever she chooses.
And in whatever his endeavors may be.
You do
Flirting in the Regency era, really tough, man. If I had to have moms around while I'm trying to get my shit on with the man, like, fuck this. I mean,
They're all dreadfully boring.
Charitha's so cute. And Jonathan Bailey's so cute. And they have no chemistry, because they're not supposed to. Guys, why are we wasting our time here? Come on, let's get the Kate and the Anthony shit!
Indeed it does.
So I actually missed that entire scene. My first watch, I must have been in the restroom. But, what I do like about that is Eloise initially doesn't really want to get married. I do think that is true from the book. She thinks she and Penelope are going to be spinsters forever. Then what ends up happening is Penelope gets with Colin and Eloise feels alone. She feels really alone. So she starts up a correspondence with Philip, and that's how she and Philip kind of end up together. So I do like her being like, okay, maybe I could be a spinster, maybe this won't be so bad, and her talking to another spinster, and eventually we're gonna see her get tired of being alone and decide to get married. So it's interesting that they're already laying that groundwork here in the show.
Feels a little baby Hyacinth because she will never know Edmund's love.
Truly, Ruth, the actress Ruth, she is doing... I'm so glad she got to shine this season. As an actress myself, I love that she got to have all of these moments because honestly, Violet in the books is not fully fleshed out. I do love her, but she is kind of a perfect human and we don't really get to see her ever be imperfect. And I'm so glad that they fleshed out the character and that Ruth is getting to have a moment to shine like this.
I'm doing my best.
Do y'all see why Anthony doesn't want to fall in love? I wouldn't want to either. That's really hard.
Always with a kind word and a joke.
This is her. Remember in the last episode when Lady Danbury talked to her and she told her that the Viscount didn't want to fall in love, and you had that moment of Violet saying, I see. I love that this is her being like, okay, I'm going to get my son on track. But this is a pretty harsh moment for Violet and what Anthony's about to say.
Father died, a wall went up inside you, as if love had become some weakness.
Because he watched you.
Instead of your greatest
He watched
strength, and that is
you.
not you.
Baby, he watched what you went through. He watched you say you wish you had died in childbirth. He doesn't want to love like that.
It's as if we sit among the stars.
I love getting to see a fucking high Benedict. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I can imagine.
But Kate always has had my best interests at heart.
Is Francesca in this scene? I'm looking for her. I don't see you, Franny. Did you leave? Did you leave the show by this point? I'm seeing Hyacinth, but where's Francesca? Oh!
Benedict, dear.
Look at his little face! Look at his little face! I love Benedict. I'm a full Benedict convert at this point. Sign me up. I'm here for whatever happens between him and Sophie. Hopefully they do not have it be a Cinderella story. I would prefer it not be a Cinderella story the way Benedict's book is, but I love Benedict so much in the show. I'm here for whatever happens.
Lady Bridgerton.
Perhaps it is time for a toast.
A good idea. To cheer our guests.
I didn't notice on my first watch through. So Lady Danbury's the one who kind of made all of this happen? Because it kind of seems like she's the one pressuring Anthony to stand up and have to make a speech. Lady Danbury! No, sis. Oh, Anthony. Oh, Anthony. He can't even during his failed proposal keep his eyes off of Kate. You poor baby. Can you imagine the embarrassment of this moment for Edwina? Who, again, they are playing very differently than the book. So here she is young, she is innocent, she is full of hope. She thinks she's going to become a viscountess. She wants to wear pretty clothes. God, this moment would be really crushing for her. To be in front of his whole family. Everyone knows that he seems like he's about to propose to you, and then he decides to not do it. It's really hard for her. I do love getting to watch Kate oil Edwina's hair. God, more scenes on TV of women's hair being oiled in a beautiful, familial way.
More about their interest. I should have been better.
This moment broke my heart as a person who deals with a lot of self-esteem issues and issues of self-hatred. The I should have been better breaks my fucking heart, especially when it has nothing to do with you. So often, all of the reasons why you don't get something in life have nothing to do with you. But if you're like me and you're a cynicist, or you deal with issues of putting yourself down, you make everything about how you're not worthy. And this broke my heart for Edwina. And it's kind of why my heart breaks for Edwina all season. She never understands what's going on with Anthony. And then when she finds out that it's her sister, she's like, I felt, she felt less than for so long. And then you find out that it's your sister is the reason why you've been feeling like something wasn't working. It's so heartbreaking for her. It's again why I just don't think the love triangle was fair to Edwina in any way, shape, or form.
The Royal Schools have accepted me as a student. I got it!
Yeah, you did, you little bitch.
You shall all bear witness to my talent!
Vulgar gown sported lately by Miss Cressida Cowper.
Why is Penelope not spending more of her time trash-talking the mean girls of the tone? Truly, rather than going after the Bridgertons or whoever the fuck else, just go after Cressida the whole time, girl. Trash her. Honestly, though, I do feel bad for that new modiste who is now fired from whatever she was doing. She loses her business. This woman's now on the streets. Did we see Les Mis? Now she's a whore. Now she's singing I Dreamed a Dream because she has sold her hair. Then she dies of a syphilis infection. Guys, I don't quite remember Les Mis. I'm not sure that that's how it ends. But I do have to say, Penelope really did run a new modiste out of town who did nothing to her. And I do like this connection between Penelope and Madame Delacroix. I think it was a great to put them together.
Feeling.
Ooh.
You are.
Okay, we have the B. We have the B. Okay, let's do it. Bless his heart. Ugh, sorry, I'm getting emotional. What I do want to say is, I've already mentioned this other places, very different. This is the exact moment in the books where Kate and Anthony basically get together. I've had so many non-book readers tell me that this scene is very stupid in the books. I didn't think it was stupid, but it is a little corny. What happens in the books is when Kate is bitten by the bee, Anthony literally loses his mind. He completely just he can't even think. He actually bends towards her breast and tries to suck the poison out. Because he is literally this panic that you're seeing on screen is how he feels. But instead of, Kate kind of calming him down, he immediately bends down to kind of her upper chest area to try to start sucking the poison out. And as he's doing this, her mother, and Lady Featherington come along and see them. And because they're caught with his face on her breast, they have to get married. So because it's a forced marriage the way we had in the first season, I believe this is why the showrunner and the writers wanted to change this for this season. I get it. I told my husband what happened in the books. He said that sounded stupid. I've told other friends what happened in the books. They're like, that sounds stupid. I get it. But here's what's frustrating. I do wish almost that they had been caught just like this, with his hand there and her hand, covering it. This would have been enough for someone to be like, hey, what the hell is going on? I wouldn't even have minded maybe Edwina catching them and being like, what's going on? Just so from this point on, we could have had Kate and Anthony together. I've mentioned this so many times at this point, but at this point in the books, Kate and Anthony get married and we get to spend the rest of the books with Kate and Anthony. And so I'm just a little frustrated, obviously, that we have to wait so long for those two to finally come together. After this moment, which I think is just it's her getting to see his panic and help calm him down. And I just wish we could have continued to see them get closer versus over, the rest of the season is them coming apart and coming back and coming apart and coming back. I wish we would have taken this opportunity to actually just have them gradually get closer and stay closer. Kiss! 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 Okay, we just finished my rewatch of episode 3. Best episode of the season, maybe? I'm not gonna lie. Remember when I watched the season for the first time? I was watching this at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was very early. I was very tired. So on this rewatch, this is phenomenal. Jonathan Bailey is giving as Anthony. Ruth is giving as Violet. There's amazing work happening between both Simone and Jonathan. This is a good episode of TV. Episode 3, honestly, I know we get sex in episode 7, whoop, whoop, and we finally get them together in episode 8, whoop, whoop. I think episode 3 might be the best episode of the season. It's the one that, if you guys see, I'm okay with almost all of the changes that they're making. I think they're making excellent changes for the characters. They changed some stuff that I'm like, but it makes for good TV. I think this is just a really good episode of TV. So I'm overall quite happy with this. I have no notes. I just think this was so good. I think if there's an Emmy reel for Jonathan and an Emmy reel for Ruth, or for those two in particular, it should be from this episode. I just think they killed it. I think they killed it. All right, guys, I love you so much. It's late here. I want to go to bed. Have a wonderful night, sweeties. And I'm going to be back, I think, tomorrow to review episode 4 of season 2 of Bridgerton. All right, bye.